Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode 10 of That Range Life, a show sometimes about golf. Bill, we've officially reached double digits of our show. 10 weeks running. 10 weeks. Has it felt like 10 weeks to you?
No, but first and foremost, I'd like to apologize to the community of 5 viewers we get. We're sorry the show has not gotten any better, but you know what? It is what it is. You're stuck with us because we enjoy it too much. And the return is definitely not worth the effort, but we get a kick out of it. Good enough. It's going up on the internet.
Right. And speaking of doing something just for us, we've also started. Well, before we get to that, let's go through the social things, right? So I'm Chris McEwen, chrismcEwen.com. You can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at Chris McEwen and on Facebook at Chris McEwen Golf. And with me is Bill Bush, owner proprietor of drivingrangeheroes.com. And you can find him across all social media at Range Heroes.
Correct.
Okay.
That's it. We did it. Introductions made. Next portion. Next segment.
Now, as I was saying, speaking of something that we're doing basically for ourselves, we have started an actual daily podcast.
It's literally daily.
Every day, Monday through Friday, Bill and I get together and we talk about our day because we are in the midst of a lockdown. All right. Much like much more of the country, we are not allowed to basically leave our homes unless we're going to an essential provider of some sort.
When I feel like as Chris is spitting it out, you can tell we're clearly losing our minds. We can't even talk anymore. Not that we could before, but like it's really bad.
Yeah.
But just to give you, I guess, this is we'll say this is an official golf origin story episode for Chris right now. Let's talk about the origins of the Lockdown Golf Podcast. Chris and I both work our day jobs at fairly large companies. We could probably go have sadly a competition about whose is bigger, not a big deal. And we both are like, oh, this is so fun. And leading up to that week, we're like, it's the official, hey, you guys don't come into work anymore. This is bad.
Right.
We started preparing, going, hey, if we end up getting locked down and we're in quarantine for an extended period of time, I think we start recording a podcast daily and just capturing whatever insanity. At the time, remember, they were still planning on playing golf tournaments. So like, well, at least we'll have those to talk about too. And now it's like, we have nothing to talk about. I mean, we find an hour.
Right.
We try to keep it less just for your own entertainment, but yeah, this podcast is purely to capture our journey into the basement of our brains. It's a scary place. There's one day, I keep making this comment, but I'm sitting in my basement office that has no windows, closed in here because I have 2 small kids who are also home, and my poor wife is losing her mind from them. And this weekend was a testament to it. Like, we're like, oh, good, we go back to our normal Monday routines. And no, we don't.
No,
we just keep at it.
Right.
But
there's no break.
The podcast, yes, we talk some golf. We talk any golf topic and some golf. We're golf guys. We're big golf guys. The topics we're gonna have golf topics to talk about, but we're not talking current events and tons of new equipment. It's basically just you can hear we're dejected in our voices, but we do every now and then come up for air. For instance, we, as you're listening to this, will have had a episode come out this past Monday with a good guest. I'll just leave it at that. And
it was a good guest.
It was a good guest. Enjoy that. And I like that he didn't get super other than when we forced it on him, but he was just there to hang out with us. Like we are in the podcast, just a chance to hang out and talk. And I like that he came in with that mindset and wasn't really trying to be like Mr. Brand guy. And I think he did it well. But he did speak to the brand well too. I thought he did a really good job. And as usual, the biggest problem on it, if there was one, the biggest negative was me. But I'm not kidding you guys. We're going crazy, and that's what we're trying to capture in this thing. by the end of, depending on the day, by the end of the day, I start working earlier just because I'm at home. I don't have to commute. And I'll look, I go, oh, it's 6 p.m. or I better get back. I'm in this office all day talking on conference calls and Zooms and Skypes and headphones in my ears. And just, of course, like, it's not great out there, guys. It's not. The economy's not good. It's not like there's a
No,
ton of just great news rolling around. So
right.
it's been stressful. And our podcast shows it a little bit.
Right. So if you want to either, if you're not in lockdown and you want to see what it's like for two guys that are in lockdown, you could listen. If you are in lockdown and just want to hear some relatable material, you should listen. And
If you're not in lockdown,
we
what the hell's wrong with you? Like, it's just, it's funny how many from, especially in England, where, God, you think our country's handling this?
oh my
Not to
goodness.
take a side here, but you think our
Yeah.
country's handling it bad? These guys, from relatively normal people, like the amount of selfish acts we are seeing from people who aren't taking this serious. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, you should see us. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
It's horrible over here. And especially you think we're crowded for space. That's in Chicago, but like, man, that country just
Yeah.
so built on top of itself.
Yeah.
But
It's pretty crazy.
I was just like, go. And I know it sounds so cliche and everyone's liking the like cool new Instagram story tag you can put in this stay at home. But
Yeah.
for God's sake, just stay at home. Go, like, you can't ever like.
It seems like it's such a simple thing to do. Just stay home. 2 weeks. Just stay home.
Well, in
For
worst
2
case scenario, you are allowed to leave under these rules. Like, go to McDonald's. If you
Right.
don't have food,
Right.
oh, I can't
Right.
get to it. I can't get this. Like, yeah, that's fine. Go to McDonald's. Yeah, I don't. Well, that might help. The toilet paper thing might be. This might not match up well, but just like, you can get food to live.
Right.
Just get some food. Toilet paper will be available within the coming weeks. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
And calm down. Stop going to the parks. Stop, unless you're going to keep social distance. But like,
Right.
don't go. If your bars are still open, don't go to them. If your restaurants are still open, don't go to them. Buy gift cards. I support it.
Yeah.
Get
That's what we've been
takeout
doing.
stuff. Like, Jesus,
Yeah.
stop sitting and congregating. I'm sorry. Look at
Ugh.
Italy. This isn't like a right-left politics thing. Look
Right.
at Italy had all those videos of like just these massive piles of coffins coming through, and you're
I
like,
know. Brutal,
this
man.
is they're gonna pass China. They're gonna pass
Yeah.
China.
Yeah.
So just stay at home. If you're not on lockdown, listen to our podcast and go on lockdown. And tell you
Right.
what, if you want, you can come on one episode and tell us how bad it is.
There you go.
Sorry, here we go. I'm
Bill
all right.
invites total strangers to be on the podcast. That's fine. That's what I do every week too on the other podcast. So kind of related to that, I had told a story about, I think it was on day 3, on how my wife was handling the early days of lockdown,
Yep.
in which she, and so I have an update from there. So go back, if you want context, go back and listen to that podcast. But in short, day 3, my wife ordered a 1,000-piece puzzle for us to do together. And if you want to hear Bill's opinion of that project, definitely go listen to the podcast.
It was very positive and encouraging.
But she also decided she was going to start trying to bake her own bread from scratch, which means she was going to grow a starter, like she was going to grow yeast for a sourdough bread. Day 5, I panic ordered $275 worth of alcohol because we were getting wind of this shelter in place, and I didn't know what would be deemed essential. And so I said, I got to hit up my liquor store and order some alcohol. Fast forward to today, in which my alcohol order got canceled because the liquor store wasn't opened. So I had to reorder it, and now it's coming in Wednesday. And even worse, 2 of the puzzle pieces have gotten wet. And the puzzle the puzzle pieces, the cover like came off. And so now we have 2 blank puzzle pieces. We have 998 puzzle pieces, 2 blank puzzle pieces.
Darn it!
So we have to deal with that. And then the tragedy of all tragedy is our bread starter, our yeast starter, has gone flat. And so my wife my wife has abandoned the whole idea of making bread. She's out. She's like, forget it. It's over. I don't want to do it. So things are going well here in the McEwen household during lockdown, Bill. We're short on booze. Our puzzle pieces are wet, and we're not going to have any fresh bread.
Man, I don't know how we're gonna get through this.
You think you've got it bad?
I think if this is happening in your house, what's next? I mean, are you telling me the prime beef I've stocked up on in my freezer isn't gonna last me as long as I thought? I'm gonna eat it all too soon? Is that what's gonna happen next? Oh, even though my local butcher's been deemed, shout out Wheaton Meat
Right.
Market, has been deemed an essential business. I mean, what if I go in one day and they only have choice and not prime?
Just
What's
prepare
next?
yourself. Prepare yourself.
I feel like you're starting a bad domino effect for a bad precedence
Telling
for
you.
shelter in place here in the Chicagoland, Illinois. It's an Illinois-wide thing.
Things are falling apart
The
quickly.
booze is bad, but the 2 wet puzzle pieces and the covers are missing. Well, and if you want to go back to our podcast and listen to where I just probably was like, for a friend, was a little unreasonable about Chris's plans for this puzzle.
No, you weren't unreasonable at all.
No, well, I know I
It was a
wasn't,
legitimate response. It's a legitimate response.
trying to be a two-way open-minded friend here. No, you're ludicrous. You definitely can't put that on display now because it'll have a blemish for 2 pieces.
Yeah.
Maybe when this is all done, you can write the manufacturer like, "Look, I just need 2 of these pieces.
Right.
Can you?" They're gonna go, "Sir, you're an idiot," and you're gonna go, "That's weird. My friend Bill says that to me all the time on our internet golf shows."
Although I gotta say that, so she got that puzzle like day 3 or something. She's been on it. That thing's gonna be done in like 2 days. She's gonna be done by midweek next week.
I know that feeling. Feeling.
She's been just killing it. She's a
What
natural.
I want to know about, to be clear, so we've been put on as of March 21st at 5 p.m. Central. We have been put on a statewide lockdown except for essential things, going to pick up food,
Right.
Medicines and what have you from the pharmacy. You're allowed to go outside, go for a walk, a run. The parks are not closed, which is interesting, but the parks are not closed.
Yeah.
You said, though, you guys had a break in your quarantine, contamination, something got through, and the clock started over. Where was that in the story?
Well, no. That I didn't
You were
mean
being
to.
dramatic.
I didn't mean to communicate it that way. But we do. So we have to walk the dog every day, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so basically, every time we go outside and there's other people outside, every time we cross paths with someone, we reset our clock. Like, oh, okay.
Well, that coughing in your face, because that theoretically should be fine.
I know.
That's also what you get for living in the city. So, like out here, I'll just go, here, we can use this as a segue, but I have been, we have our people in our neighborhood, and you see all the pictures going around of like people sitting in their, the end of their driveways and their folding chairs, like talking to each other across the street and stuff, drinking beers.
Yeah.
So similar here, I've been talking to people, like we're 25 feet apart, whatever, or if you're walking your dog, you can just avoid each other. But now here you are in your little city streets, whatever. Though my wife was telling me something. They're going to close down because guys like you, it's not like you can just go to a gym, whatever. And it's, I could go 2 blocks any direction, find a big open park and do whatever working out I want. They were literally going to close city streets in Chicago to give people room to like work out, run, do whatever.
Really?
That's what I hear.
Wow. That'd be cool.
So speaking of social distancing, I have a guy who, I don't know if he actually watches or listens to this. Probably doesn't. He has a short attention span. And I'll tell that straight to his face. But so I'm like, if you listen to stuff, he's like, no, of course I haven't. I'm like, all right, I do. He follows my site and everything, so I know he knows we're doing it if he's listening or not. But I'm like, dude, you gotta go on quarantine. He's like, no, I got a business to run. I'm like, okay, bro, you work retail. Don't come near me. And he's like, I literally just went, man, I need to start taking this more serious. And So he's been he's been in quarantine. I was going to combine lockdown and quarantine, Laurentine, um, for like 2 days total. And he texts me and he goes, "Hey, we need to come up with to keep some anonymity. We need to come up with a neighborhood like chip and putt golf course." And I went, I mean, you don't say something like that to me and think that's not going to happen.
Right.
And then, we started talking about it. I go, "We need to get some foam balls." Like, "Oh, those plastic wiffle balls." I go, "No, no, no, no. We can turn these into like real holes and actually have some distance.
Yeah.
Like, we need foam balls." He goes, "You work on figuring out the course. I'll order the balls." Well, I went through about four routings and ended up with this guy.
Yeah.
But
So
I don't,
are you gonna like live stream your rounds, or what are you gonna do? You're gonna do some like
I don't know yet. But the funny thing was, it started as 6 holes, and like, yeah, it's just something to do. And he came outside, and he's real concerned. He's like, "I can't get this." He's like, "I have asthma." I'm like, because it was funny watching how serious. I'm not saying we all should take social distance serious, but like, okay, we're a good safe distance apart. And I'm not gonna like spit a loogie into your mouth. You're
right,
fine. But
right.
he's like really keeping the distance, and I'm impressed. Uh, but so we're playing through a neighborhood. There's trees and houses. The whole goal is like you don't want somebody's house. If somebody's like, "Hey, I don't want anything to do with this. Keep it
Right,
away from my house and my yard." Like the
right.
holes will not touch or be anywhere near it. So really,
Yeah.
they all go through basically just my yard or to trees and his yard, and then a little bit in my parents' yard right across the street. But I even not so much. So he comes out when at this point I have it routed for 6 holes, and you tee off from his house, go across the street to my house, and then we start like weaving around. And he goes, "I think we can squeeze 3, 4 more holes into this thing." And sure enough, we did. And it's gotten real. I sent you and J Rick
Yeah.
the picture.
I'm looking at it now. So it looks like is 9 gonna be kind of is it gonna be a short par 4 or a long par 3? Looks like you're closing on some risk reward there. You gotta go over the street.
You have to really go over the whole corner through a parkway sidewalk. I think it's gonna be a par 4.
Oh, wow, okay.
I don't know. I also don't know which.
Interesting. It
I
looks
don't.
gettable to me.
Oh, I think you have the old routing. I'll send you the new
Oh, you've
routing.
already renovated? You've already
Yeah, yeah,
you've
yeah.
already changed up the
Yeah,
routing?
yeah. You have the little short number 9.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it goes like 189, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, the 8 isn't
yeah.
there anymore. I'll send you the
Oh,
new
okay.
routing because
Oh,
you're gonna
man,
be
how could you not send it to me? God, come on, man.
because it feels like the ultimate thing of narcissism, and like I'm really losing my mind when I start sending you Sharpie and Google satellite printouts of a golf course I'm routing in my house.
I
Which
guess I haven't communicated how desperate I am for golf
Well, and that's
anything right
as
now.
we've started like figuring this thing out, we're like, this is gonna become a real thing. Like once we're out of coronavirus, this will we're still doing it. I mean, we've been
Yeah.
coming up with rules. We have plans to like take the kiddie pools and make them water hazards. Um, there's big plans for this. And then even thinking about rules, and I would say, well, one, it's people's yards and things. You can only hit off of mat, so you have to carry the mat, drop it because
Carry
you
the
don't want
mat
to
with
take a
you.
chunk out of someone's yard. But
Sure.
there's holes where like you have to carry the street. Well, what if you come up short or you don't hit the layup and you go too long and you're gonna roll down the street?
Right.
Recreational. And so I started saying to him, I think you just got to go to the street, drop your mat down and play the shot, or like near a sidewalk or something. He goes, "Yeah, but that's going to slow down rounds a lot." I went, "My mistake. I'm thinking tournament rules,
Right.
not recreational rounds."
I
And
would
then I
say
started,
you have to bring back the ball from where it crossed the street. You can't improve your lie. You have to like back up
yeah,
from the street.
maybe. Well,
Like the
this
street's
sounds,
a hazard.
but if you hit the street and go roll down a hill, where you cross the street might be better.
Oh, right.
So
Right.
it might be
Right.
more punishing, but I think he's right. Like, hey, just the guys out for a few sodas and adult sodas, I should say, and a
Right.
quick 9 holes around the loop. Uh, you know, we
You
got to
should make
have.
it reversible too. You should go
I,
1
I
9 10 18.
I think you probably could,
Yeah.
but even that, we're getting into like except for I think one hole, you always tee off from a sidewalk, so you have a nice flat surface.
Oh, wow.
But And I started thinking like, yeah, I think we'll have like, okay, this is the 4th of July major,
Right.
and we'll
Right.
have tournaments, and I'm not kidding you. I was getting texts at 10 o'clock at last night. This guy was sending me like, well, no, 2 nights ago, he was sending me the names, possible names, and I'll save that cliffhanger.
Okay.
Um, it's funny because knowing what the name is right now, that cliffhanger reference is kind of funny. I'm making
You
sure
really
everyone knows they're not in the know. I am. But, he's then last night, he started sending me, like, clip art for foundations of logos and stuff, and I go,
come on.
"Geez, I was taking this serious, but this guy."
Yeah.
And, of course, you know me, I'm like, "Yeah, let's go. Let's get
Right.
hats and shirts made and
Right.
get the logo printed on some real golf balls for when we actually go play real golf." I'm in. I'm gonna just hey, when it comes time to renew the website, I'm shutting it down and open it up for my village foam course. Yeah, so that's what I've been doing. I'm
Nice.
fine. I'm fine.
Right. Things are normal. It's okay.
Things
Everything is fine.
great. The amount of printer ink I've used too, I mean, I just here I have 3 different routings, which are just like evolutions of each other. So when we go walk off the current favorite routing, at least we have like all the notes from previous ideas.
Right. You're just Core and Crenshaw. Just,
Mhm,
stepping
mhm. I mean, I like to think Core and Crenshaw, sure, but I mean, I'm already starting to hear CB McDonald, Seth Rayner comparisons. Chicago Golf Club is only about 10 minutes away from here, so
Okay. Right.
maybe I'll get the call one day and be like, "You know what you guys should do on this hole? How did you get through here? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it." Yeah, so that's what I've been doing, but real golf courses. So, interestingly enough, on Saturday, I texted a guy who works at my local course, which is village owned, nice little track. And I said, "Hey, just curious, do you guys know if the course is going to stay open as like a central place as a park? It can, because you
Right.
can go out there, whatever." And he goes, "As of now, yeah, we're staying open through all of this." I went, not bad. But then our good friend Adam Unfiltered posted about Cog Hill, former home of Western Open and BMW Championship, arguably a terrible redesign. He he heard Cog Hill was shutting down. They're like, "Yeah, for now," but apparently there's like some group called the Illinois Golf Alliance that is lobbying the government to be like, "Yo, we're big wide open spaces. Can we
Yeah.
figure out a way to keep all of us still open and working during this?"
Yeah.
So I can't decide if I'm for that. I mean, if I can like log in on an app, and we've talked about this, pay for my round,
Totally.
whether I
Yeah.
use it or not, fine. But also, who's to say I didn't do that and still just showed up and played? Um, so I'll be interested to see
Yeah.
what happens there. But it's not so bad now because it's been freezing this week, which will lead me to another topic. And it started snowing here today,
Right. Of course.
so I'm
Yeah.
not rushing out to play.
Yeah.
Between just being depressed about quarantine and only wanting to quarantine myself more,
Yeah.
and the the snow. I don't
Oh, the
really care,
snow.
but eventually it's gonna be like 67 degrees and we're like, "Stay in your houses."
Right.
And we're like, "What if I go play golf and walk
Right.
only?" But
Right.
we'll see. We'll
I
see.
hope they stay open.
Oh my god. If
I hope they stay
even if I
open.
don't use them, just to know, like,
I know.
there's something out there.
I know.
I tell my wife all the
Um,
time, it's like, "Yeah, you see people walking around, but it's so weird to me when I go, like today I was grilling I was grilling some steak and some shrimp, and I'm sitting this is very like, "Oh, this is kinda nice, normal, having a beer, it's great," and I go, I mean, I feel like I shouldn't even be allowed outside, like, there's a toxic haze with the
Right.
bubonic plague.
Right. Right. Like it's in the air floating.
Yeah, it's weird for it to feel normal, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
For sure.
But, yeah, here we are, but still knowing, like, normal things are safe and exist somewhere out there. Once
Yeah.
that happens and grocery stores can keep, like, bread, eggs, toilet paper, and flour, because
Yeah.
my mom hasn't been able to find flour anywhere.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I think between that and having some golf courses open, I'm like, well, there's still a sense of normalcy somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, whatever, we'll see. So speaking of being outside today, though, I have right before, I don't know about you, but I'm just leaving all in playing golf media guy here. I'm just leaving all the brands alone unless like, are you bored? You want to come on my podcast?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I mean, there's like empirical data right now showing that the golf industry is just getting slaughtered by this.
Yeah.
And for valid reasons.
Yeah.
So, I'm leaving them alone, but I still had a few like, you know, club-esque things to review. I owe reviews on, and while given nothing golf related is happening, the content well has dried up quite a bit.
Right.
So I better get to work on some of this gear stuff I have to do. And there's nothing open to go test it at there. So I just said screw it. I got out the little like I don't have one of the big like 5 foot by 5 foot mats or 8 foot by just the giant ones. I just have like
Yeah.
a little, this guy
And
that's
enough
just
to hit
enough to
off
hit a
of.
shot.
Yeah.
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 Which no matter how many times you're like, there's more than enough space there. It's like you never can mentally get over it.
Right.
So I set up my net, uh, got my Flight Scope Mevo out, which I realized was having a hard time because one, I'm hitting into a net. Two, it
Oh.
was picking up all the shit behind it, like tricycles and whatever. And I go, well, that's
Yeah.
so I finally found like an angle where I could turn it and stand on my driveway so I wasn't tearing up my grass because it's wet from snow and rain.
Yeah.
Um, it hit where there's really nothing behind it. So uh it helped, but it just was miserable. I'm like, what? And I finally
Yeah,
hit a
man. It
point
was
with,
super cold.
but I got warmed up, and so I was like, I'm
Okay.
okay. I'm okay. It's not ideal, but I'm okay.
Yeah.
And I hit enough, I got enough shots that I'm like, okay, I know what I'm doing. I have data, I can speak to it. But it is like it probably took me 10 times as long as it normally would. And I'm sitting there and I finally just like,
Yeah.
what am I doing? It was almost like I folded my net back up and I put the Mevo away and I'm picking everything up and going, I think I'm just gonna quit. Like I hate it. I'm so over it. And I just think like I was finally starting to come back, but you know what? My wedge game. Oh, by the way, for those keeping track at home, to warm up, I hit a few wedge shots and they were pure. Best shots I was hitting.
Nice.
So I'm still hopeful, knock on wood. Um, but after like finally being like, yeah, I care about golf this year. I'm looking forward to the season. And after that, and just with everything going on, I'm like, what am I doing here? I hate golf. I'm like, no, I hate Chicago and snow and whatever.
Viruses and everything else.
Yep. So yeah, but I hit golf clubs. I mean, golf
That's
balls.
kind of nice.
That
More
happened.
than many of us have done. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And for
Spe-
the
uh,
sake of my own driveway.
And something else that you've done, speaking of golf clubs, you had found your kind of treasure at the Chicago Golf Show,
Do I
right?
have
Your
any?
Ben Hogan's. Do you have them?
Nope. There.
Oh,
I,
boo.
I I will say I just over the last few days I repainted them because they had old flaking out paint and whatever. So I
Yeah.
repainted them. Then I got my new 2-iron that I found for $8.
Right.
That came in, so that's painted. So they're all back there in the basement somewhere.
Oh, okay.
Not here.
But you got me kind of you kind of put the bug in me to start kind of considering going retro, going vintage, and you found me a set.
Whoops. Oh, now that well, let me go back. Let's go back here. So since all this time at home on the computer, sitting through meetings, whatever, I have a new addiction. Like, never mind. And you can see, look at all that golf stuff back there. It's great, right? I don't even care about any of it. Who cares about the new
Right.
stuff? I'm like all in on vintage gear right now, and I'm plenty late to the party. But I found this one guy posted this online book, essentially of the history of McGregor golf.
Right.
Talk about just it's so sad just what that company turned into over 100 some years. But so that's led me to like, oh, I need exactly this persimmon driver and this finish with this sole plate and from anywhere from 1948 to 1952 and a half. Because if it's late 1952, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
It's out of control. And so the problem is I have life outside of this. Not a life, like no, just I have life.
Just
I
yeah.
I
Right.
have to exist.
Right.
And so I found my 2-iron for $8. And then days later I got the matching 3-iron for $6. So $14 for 2 golf clubs. Like you can't find like I could spend $14 on a new grip. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Putter grip might cost $35, you know?
Right.
And it's like I have the bare essentials to be like, okay, I'm happy with my vintage set. But like because I've gotten $6 clubs, I'm also going, whoa, this is a really nice driver that I'm getting. It could be a steal at $100. I
Yeah.
can't pay $100 and go hit this, and I don't want to have like wall hangers.
Right.
Oh, but someone else expressed their interest. Chris, I'll spend your money. How many you want?
Right.
Oh, this guy posted these sick irons that are steel, and I'm interested in, but I already got some irons. I got enough irons altogether. I don't need to start amassing a garage full of vintage stuff. You should look at these.
Hey, Chris, check these out. Here's more pictures, and here's some more pictures. Hey, the guy's got the original receipt from the purchase. Oh, here's some more pictures.
Can you believe it? It's just from outside of the city of Chicago, and this guy's in Michigan? Can you believe it?
Right.
Okay,
So anyways,
fine,
I have a new set of irons.
on the way, yeah.
Right, on the way, sure. But then we started talking about putters. Like now we need to go and get like we have to get vintage bags. We got to go bag, full set, putter, the whole thing, right?
Yep.
So you already have your putter picked out.
For a quick shout out, I've had this goal for years, and it's funny that finding the one set of irons was finally like the catalyst for it. But when I had my vintage set put together, my putter was going to be, it's a classic styled putter, but it's new. And it's from my guy, Chip Usher, Black Lab Golf. It's his, forgot exactly what model he's modeling after, but it's a, 8802 style, if you will, ish.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, I hope he doesn't watch this or see that. Because like, I told you it's this. Like, I'm sorry. I'm stupid. I know. I didn't want to let you down. You know, you're my golf mentor. But yeah, it's a vintage style putter. I actually want to say it is based off some old Tommy Armour putter. But I said when I finally get my set together, this will be, it's the right vibe. So that's my putter.
Right. So yeah.
But,
so when you sent that picture to me, it reminded me that I had one in my house. That basically it's kind of a memento. I use it sometimes, but it's my grandfather's putter, and it kind of has that look that you're talking about. So I think this will be the putter that goes into the bag. Got the original grip on there too. Still.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah.
Let me see the sole of that thing.
Yeah. Northwestern putter. I don't know.
Tom Weiskopf?
Tom Weiskopf, yeah.
How about it?
I don't know. But yeah, when my grandfather passed away, like we all got to pick stuff, and I grabbed his putter and his head covers because he had these old head covers, these old Chicago Bears head covers. But this is the driver that I'll be using.
Ooh, oh man, let's see what we got on the.
So that's the power built.
Well, I can see a.
Oh, sorry.
There you go.
Yeah. So here, I'll show you the bottom of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I get a look at the crown?
Sure. Let's see if I can. I have a lot of room in this office.
I don't feel like it's super old. I might be wrong too.
It's probably, I would say 70s or 80s probably, right? I don't think it's in the 60s, but
it's a beauty.
Yeah, it's nice. That's a thrift store find. That was like $2.
Oh man, I can't wait to maybe get around to hit that.
I did regrip that one though. I did regrip that one.
When quarantine's over and we're allowed to, like make physical contact with other people's objects.
Right.
I see that like the fitting places.
Oh,
think about all those shafts on the wall and whatnot. Be like, oh, we're gonna try all these combinations. The amount of sterilizing and sanitizing they'd have to do, like this isn't even worth your effort. You spend more time doing that and more supplies you need to sell like 6 sets of clubs extra just to pay for it every day.
Yeah, that's true. I hadn't thought about that. So yeah, I'm excited for those clubs and excited to get. We have to find some bags. You sent me in a direction, so I'm kind of
Yeah.
I'm
It's such
watching. I'm watching eBay for some stuff.
I don't know about you, but it's like you start down that rabbit hole going like, "Oh, I kinda have very, like, precise things I'm looking for." And then if I go look in my eBay right now, it's like
Oh yes,
65 faux leather bags from the years 1950 to 1985.
yeah, yeah,
And I'm like, "No, I'm totally gonna get one of those."
yeah. It's crazy how that you're right though, man. Like within it doesn't take long. Within 5 minutes, I've got 6 bags on a wish list or a watch list or whatever, and I'm getting, just bombarded by eBay with like, what about this one? What about this one? I'm like, yeah, that's nice. That one's nice too.
Well,
Oh,
what
I like
kills
that
me
one.
with it is, like, I can't tell you, when a seller offers you a discount, I can't tell you how many good deals I've come across that are fine, but I can't get over that, like,
Yeah,
no, if I have to pay more than $25 for this thing, and it's like the bags especially, I'm like, I mean, it's old, it's not
I
mint,
know.
and it's fine, $25, but, $40 to ship. Yeah, dude, because shipping golf bags is expensive.
Right. It sucks. Yeah.
And there's one
Yeah.
that's gonna weigh 1,000 pounds from 1971.
Right.
I
Yeah.
I get it, but I'm like, I was really looking for something like $30 shipped. I don't
Yeah. That's not
Oh, and
gonna
then
happen.
I'm gonna plant this seed with you. You get your nice persimmon driver and 3 wood and or 4 wood because it's you don't play a 5 wood.
Right.
You play 1, 2,
Right.
3, 4 with
Right.
this beautiful green and someone refinished expertly in the McGregor tourney wings are just perfect on the crown. You don't want to scratch it up. Well, you need to find some vintage head covers now. You can't put new ones on it.
Right, that's
Get
ridiculous.
out of here.
That's like, come on, man.
Ugh, so it's bad. It's
We just
bad.
have to wear cardigans and just smoke squares through the whole round.
Yeah, be like, hey,
Like it's
Sarah,
part of the deal.
my wife comes in our room. She's like, "Why do you have a box of Lucky Strikes?" I'd be like, "I don't smoke, but I can't, not play these old clubs and
Right.
not have some Lucky Strikes."
What do you think I am? Some kind of poser? For
And
Christ's
she'll
sake.
be like, "No, I'm gonna make this very clear to you. Yes, you can." I'm like, "Oh, okay, you can just throw those away then. You should donate them. Does food pantry take those?"
Ah,
Hey, speaking of food pantry, and that reminds me, I wanted to do a giveaway when our the at
oh yeah.
Rangeo's Instagram hit 1,000. But then I'm like, yeah, given the current climate, I think I want to do something more charity based for a giveaway. But the Instagram account hit 1,000 followers 2 times today.
Oh, is that right?
So a friend of mine out in Oregon, just I don't know what took him so long, but just started following us today. I'm like, oh my god, we hit 1,000. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Send a screenshot to Tom. He's like, yeah, I just saw it. It's awesome. 15 minutes, we're back down to 9.99. And I'm like, I
Yeah.
wonder if that was somebody who unfollowed us, a bot account got roasted, who knows?
Right.
So he's like, hang on, I got this. And 5 minutes later, we're back at 1,000. Tommy's girlfriend starts following us. And I love that she wasn't following us already. And I'm like, I have so much more respect. I've never like really met her than a FaceTime. I'm like, she wasn't following her boyfriend's golf Instagram account just to do him a favor. She's the best. Like I'm all in. So she starts following us. I'm like, oh, cool. We're back at 1,000. 15 minutes later, back down to 9.99. The
Come
same people
on.
still following. Like,
Yeah.
there's clearly like some sort of algorithm where Instagram goes, oh, they've hit a milestone. Let's see if they
Yeah.
got any bogus things and take them down a
And they
notch.
kill him. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
they got time. What else are they gonna do?
and what else are you doing right now?
Right.
Your usage has gone way up.
So go find at Range Heroes on Instagram and get them permanently over the 1,000 mark there.
And maybe you can get into our charitable donation cause that could land you a new golf club or
There you go.
a beer koozie or a high five virtually from, I'll tell you what, not from me, from Chris McEwen and J Riv.
There you go. There you go. Or
Perfect.
maybe I can, if I'll bring them on the podcast, or we can have them on this show, or we can do something like that. They can come on.
Yep.
The winner can come on Golf Origin Stories, and
and tell you
have a
about how you
conversation.
don't really care for anything we do, but you happen to win this contest and thought,
Right.
"Yeah, I wanted to donate to charity," and just this whole thing was a big slippery slope I wish I didn't do.
Right. I regret my donation.
Right, right. Can I get my donation from a very good cause back? I have one last thing.
Okay.
I wanted to cover this with the last podcast recorded, but just didn't lend itself to it. Did you see that video going around that quote unquote went viral that Gal Gadot
Imagine.
did?
Yeah.
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 And everyone's like, "Oh my god, it's so great." I'm like, I made it through a minute and a half of the actual song because she took 2 minutes to, before it
To get to it. Right. Yeah.
and, a couple of people send it to me like, "It's so good." I'm like, "This is not no, it's not."
Yeah.
And I'm not the sentiment, hey, tip my cap. I'm
Right.
fine with that,
Right.
but, there's so many people either one of there's very few in the middle of this. There's the people like they're so bad at singing to the point where it's like it's not even like funny playing it off as a joke. And then the people who are like, no, I'm a really good singer, so I'm trying really hard. And it's like, reel it in.
Yeah.
And it was just I'm sure, contrary to popular belief, sorry, I'm being this guy. I'm like, I can't take it. I didn't even make it to the Will Ferrell cameo, and I was really like, I'm sure he nailed it. But
Yeah.
then bringing this back around, a show sometimes about golf. Did you see the Connor Sketches one for it?
No.
So Connor Sketches, for those who don't know and those who do already know this, is a guy. He's I think he's English. If he's not, he's Irish. He's something
Yeah.
UK, something
Right.
British,
Right.
and he is notorious for doing these really good mostly really good impressions
Of
of a
golfers.
lot of the golfers.
Yeah.
And so he did a video and he starts out as Poulter and he goes through all the golfers singing Part of Imagine and does all the usual hits of his impressions that are hilarious.
Yeah.
Does Tiger Woods. It's very funny. And I won't ruin it, but it ends like I'm like, okay, this was sort of just set up for him to spike hard. It was
Yeah.
soft serve easy. But then and then at the end, he just kills it. It's so good.
Really? All right. I'll have
And,
to go check it out. I don't
like,
know
I
how I
was even
missed that.
my wife, who cares nothing about any of this,
Yeah.
I showed her and she was dying. Like, it was very funny.
All right.
Hats off to that guy. And he does this every time. Rarely, every now and then he'll hit you with one like, all right, it's cheesy. We all get the bit. But this, he nailed it. It was so,
All right.
so funny.
Cool.
But yeah, so go find it. We'd post it here, but last time we tried to like give anybody else a shout out or any sort of credit, we got flagged. So
Right.
find it the hard way,
Right.
okay?
Right.
I saw it on Golf Channel's Instagram. You can find it.
Go to Connor Sketches account. I'm sure it's
Yeah,
there.
give it to him. He's a
Give it
good
to
dude.
him.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know because he has some of like
Oh,
some
yeah, he
sort
does.
of
Yeah, he does have an affiliation or partnership or something.
the
Yeah.
golf channel
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
NBC.
Whatever.
Anyway, it's good.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Right.
But yeah, man. Anything else you want to cover?
I don't think so. I don't think
All
so. I'm
right.
excited to see the clubs. Thanks for putting that together for me.
It's a problem. You legitimately won't be able to see him for 12 weeks.
Yeah, because you're going to get them delivered to your house, aren't you? Bastard. I thought
Well,
about that. Like, you never even asked me for my address. So, like, I can't even, like, see
Well,
them.
one, I don't want to know where you live until you start getting until I have to start getting toilet paper from you because of your hookup.
Right. My secret source.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
then maybe we could work something out. But I just I'm trying to think of the diplomatic way to say this. I just want you in your
I already
head
know
to
where you
think.
live. You sent me the address in your golf course map.
Yeah, it's true. Oh shit, that's right. Well, that's in the YouTube video. Anyway, no, I want you to consider the potential audience of this group of where I acquired these clubs from, adding in
Right.
variables of what to do and how it's for my friend, but this
I'm with
would
you. I'm with you.
they would have
It broke their brain.
0% chance those make it to your house.
Right. Fair enough.
They're like, "Oh, I thought you said this guy in Tallahassee." Like, what? No.
I thought you said you lived in Ontario. Like, no.
I was wondering. I was thinking about asking you for more money for shipping because Canada. Oh, dude. But yeah. So when I get, I didn't even think of this. Yeah, when I get those, I'll have to think maybe I can just. Well, here's the other problem. I don't really want to go anywhere to ship
No, man.
anything.
No, we'll just wait. I'll wait.
Probably write a blog post on it. I got
There you go.
like, check out these golf clubs I bought. Just kidding. They're someone else's.
Yeah,
No,
you need your content though. Do a full review on them.
That's exactly what I'm gonna do. They're gonna get content for sure. I can't believe I didn't think of that already. All right, man.
All right.
Let's wrap this disaster up, especially because we have to figure out a whole new bunch of things to complain about in less than 24 hours.
Right. On the Lockdown Golf podcast.
Yeah, just check it out. Not a big deal.
Yeah.
All right, man. It's been a pleasure. Oh,
Okay.
wait, we forgot because we were so used to our podcast. Hey, guys, make sure you subscribe to Chris's YouTube page. Give us a thumbs up. Leave a comment below. Tell us what you want us to talk about. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or don't. We don't blame you. All right, guys. We'll see you next week. And, maybe we'll have some surprises. We don't know.
You never tell.
All right, Chris, I'll talk to you tomorrow, bud.
See ya.